I'm here to report that it was definitely an evening. I can confirm an evening was had. Things happened. Uh, Honestly, not very dramatic. I know people want storylines and stuff. Stuttering John's a bitch. He never showed. He was lying the whole time, of course. So that didn't happen. Rob Saul apparently was here. I didn't see him, but I guess Rob Saul definitely showed up. All my reports were telling me that he had a ridiculous spray tan and he looked weird. That's all I got. But I guess he was chopping it up with Deb after they said awful things about one another, which was interesting. I think the most fun we had probably was doing Kevin's show in his room. I came in and Rocco was doing the puppet with Tuki, so I immediately started attacking Tuki, for comedic effect. Rocco says, "Yeah, Chad was like being so aggressive. You could tell there's this anger in him. He was taking out on Tuki." I go, "No, you're just weak." I was being stupid. He's just like, you could tell there's like this inner anger where he's just taking it out on the puppet. I'm like, no, I was just being funny in the moment. But yeah, I met Rocco. Weird dude. Nothing really impressive about him. Old guy. Looks. I'm older. I think I'm older than he is, but he looks way older than I do. Every time you guys order a shirt, I'm gonna mail you a lanyard too. I'm gonna give lanyards out to super chatters too. That's what I'm gonna do. I have a lot of lanyards. I have too many lanyards for an event that never happened. So everybody started coming around getting lanyards, and then Melton came up. He's, "Hey, buddy, it's just the internet. It's just a joke. We're having fun, man." And I was just like, "All right, whatever." I'm not there to fight people by any means. But he knew he did exactly what I thought he would do. We're all friends, man. We're having fun. And I'm like, all right, I'm not here. I was hesitant, of course. So we're just kind of talking and hanging out, and then he's like, "Bro," and I guess he went and talked with Bill from Jersey, and he came back. He's like, "What's gonna take for me to get you to Hackamania? Like, what do I could? Come on, man. What do we got to do?" And I go, like, "What's your angle?" I forgot exactly what I said, but I go, "What would I do there?" And he didn't really specifically say anything. I said, "Let me just think about it." But everyone's saying I had these long conversations with Rocco and Melton. They weren't. I made them very brief on purpose. I didn't feel comfortable around them. I immediately like would walk away or go somewhere else because they're not really interesting people to me. But yeah, so they want me to go to Hackamania, and then they wanted me to go to Vince the Lawyer's suite to do stand up comedy because Ray did it and they paid him like $300. They're like, "Bro, how much? How much did you stand up?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not your show pony, dude. I know what you're trying to do." First of all, I'm not going to Vince the Lawyer's suite. I'm just not. He's kind of a creepy dude. And secondly, I know what you're doing. Like, why don't you ask Melton to go do stand up? How about that? How much is going to take for him to do stand up? Why don't you ask? I'm not Ray. I don't need your $300. He's like, "What about $1,000?" I'm like, "No, I'm not doing it because it's a no-win situation. It's stupid. You get around these people, it's a completely different animal. It's a completely different story because everyone's a tough guy online. Everyone's tough and strong, but they immediately, "Bro, I'm cool, man. It's all good, dude. We're having fun, bro." I know people are trying to make something out of me with my connecting in Philadelphia. There was like nothing that happened, literally nothing that happened, and everyone's like, "What happened? Was he detained? Did he get arrested? Did he miss his bus?" And it's just like, God, you guys want content so bad. There's nothing that happened. Zero. I didn't miss a bus. First of all, I didn't know it was a bus. But yeah, I was filming a live stream and I showed up and there was already like some commotion going on with these black workers and somebody else. And I just put the phone in my pocket and then I shut it off. And everyone's like, "Dude, I think he got tackled and he got arrested." And I'm like, yeah, yeah, that's what happened. Sure. That's why I tweeted out, "I'm not coming to AC." long story because you guys were all like running with the story that I got arrested and tackled and detained. So I'm like, all right, let's just, if you guys want that to be a story, let's make it happen. Plus, I didn't want them to know when I was showing up. Yeah, you were being fake. I wasn't being fake. There's a difference between it's being cordial with human. It's just being a human being. It's not being fake. You know, I doubt me and Steve are going to go do a podcast together, like a weekly podcast now. We're like, yeah, let's do it. Although I do have a great idea, a fantastic idea that I pitched to Bill from Jersey about a podcast with Joey C. I definitely got to talk to him when I get back. I definitely got to talk to Joey C when I get back because I think it's a great idea, a once a week podcast. I met him, nice enough, and the idea is too good. And I think it would get a lot of views. And I think it'd be outside the shitverse. I think it could be something bigger than the Dabbleverse. I really do. The idea I have. So I got to pitch it and figure out how we're going to do it because it's too good. Yes. Oh, yeah. John was here from Win by Two. He came up to my room and we went over to Kevin's room. Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a solid dude. He's just like me. We're both bummed that the show got canceled. We were really looking forward to doing it. And by the way, the show would have been fine. It would have been fine. So everyone's saying, oh, we don't know what we're doing. It would have been the easiest thing ever, the show. It would have been so fucking easy. You're just doing what we did in front of people. Like everything we did in Kevin's room, we would have did it at the Tennessee Beer Hall. It's not that hard. Like, so everyone's like, oh, they don't know what they're doing, this, that. We literally shot ourselves in the foot. Yeah, oh yeah, I'll wrap up with Ray. I had a conversation with Ray. First thing Ray said to me was, I don't hate you. I don't hate you, Chad. I don't hate you. I don't mind you doing that show. Very first thing he said to me, I don't hate you. I don't hate you. I don't mind you doing that show. And I'm like, oh, cool. Thanks, Ray. He's like, I like the show. He goes, I like the show. I like it. I go, you've never watched an episode. He goes, I've seen a clip. So Ray loves the Ray DeVito show. He's like, I like it. I like it. But Ray immediately says, you know, Chad, I respect that you still do stand-up. None of these guys do it. You still do it. And I respect that. I respect you because you still do it. We're the only ones doing it. And they don't do it. And he's like, we got to do some gigs. He immediately goes, we got to do some gigs together. I was like, what, are we going on tour? He's like, I just think we could do some shows and we could bring some people in with the Dabbleverse. And I'm like, okay, Ray. But he's harmless. Nobody loves this stuff more than Ray. Ray loves this. He loves being around the Bentleys. He loves the attention. He loves drinking. He likes people. Ray. I mean, I get why Ray comes to these things because he makes out like a bandit. Ray makes like a fortune coming to these shows. People just give him money. So I get why he cancels gigs to come here. He probably made more money coming the Super Bowl weekend than he did at his shitty gig. Bo Barrington, my man. Bo Barrington, my man. Did you see / hang out with Vince the lawyer? Yeah, no, he came up and shook my hand. He gave me an aggressive handshake to show his dominance, his alpha maleness, even though he's shorter than me. And he squeezed my hand like, hey, man, what's up? And I go, hey, man. And he's like, come back to my room. Ray's going to do stand-up. Come up to my room. Come up to my room. And I was like, for a second, I was like, okay. Then I was like, nah, I don't want to be in your room. Plus, I didn't know if the Duke was going to be there. I didn't want to show up and the Duke was there, you know? That would have been bad. I don't want to face the wrath of the Duke. We're all scared of the Duke. No, to sum it all up, Stuttering John's one of the biggest pussies ever. That guy's garbage. All of us should quit giving him any amount of attention. The guy's garbage. He said he was going to be here. Another lie. Many, many lies from Stuttering John. John, you will forever be everyone's bitch. You're a joke. You're a clown. You get everything you deserve. Nobody's going to be at your funeral, and that's a fact, Jack.